Today we're taking a look at Abilene Christian versus UCLA match, which is happening on Monday, March 22, 2021 at 5:15 p.m., and giving you my betting tips and predictions in general on this game. Welcome back to High Stakes. Let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. A Pac-12 team will face off against each other in the second round of the NCAA tournament on Monday as the Abilene Christian Wildcats travel to Bankers Life Fieldhouse to take on the UCLA Bruins. Abilene Christian enters this game with a 24-4 record after beating Texas by 1 point in its last game, while UCLA enters this game with a 19-9 record after beating BYU by 13 points in its last game. This game will start at 5:15 p.m. EST. Abilene Christian trailed Texas by 5 at the half, but rallied in the second half to defeat the Longhorns, 53-52. Joe Pleasant led the way with 11 points and 8 rebounds. Corion Mason also chipped in 11 points, as they were the leading scorers on the team. Abilene Christian shot just 29.9% from the field, including 16.7% from the three-point range, while Texas shot 45% from the field. It was on the offensive glass where the Wildcats won the contest, grabbing 13 rebounds to just 5 for Texas. The Longhorns also turned the ball over 23 times. Abilene Christian is averaging 77.0 ppg, 54th in the nation, while allowing 60.7 points per game, 16th overall. They are a solid shooting team at 45.7%, 87th overall. It is on the offensive glass where they are making the difference, averaging 10.2 rebounds per game. Colton Cole is the leading scorer for Abilene Christian, averaging 12.2 ppg. He is a 54.7% shooter, but only hitting on 69.5% of his free throws. Free throw shooting has been an issue for this team during the season, but they hit 83.3% of their attempts against Texas. The UCLA Bruins enter this game in solid form as they have won each of their last 2 games, including an 11-point victory against the BYU Cougars in the first round of the NCAA tournament. In that game, UCLA's offense was great as it scored 73 points while shooting 48.3% from the floor and 42.1% from the three-point line. However, that stellar offensive performance was not too surprising, since the Bruins have scored at least 73 points in 4 of their last 5 games. Now, UCLA will be looking for another quality offensive performance on Monday with a spot in the Sweet 16 at stake. Leading the Bruins offensively is sophomore guard Johnny Juzong, who is averaging a team-high 15.0 points per game along with 4.2 rebounds per game. In addition, he is only averaging 1.7 turnovers per game, as he has been extremely careful with the basketball all season long. The Wildcats never blinked in the 53-52 win over Texas. They made the free throws for the win. They kept on pressing, even with the Texas offense making 45% of its shots from the field. They lead the nation in turnovers forced and are second in steals, and they forced 23 Texas turnovers. When in doubt, ACU can rely on its nasty defense that allows teams to score just 60 points and hit 40% per game, and it's got just enough burst to finish most of those forced mistakes with points. It's a lazy cliche to suggest that a team is winning because it's playing hard, or even worse, wants it more. It's the NCAA tournament. Everyone is playing hard, everyone wants it more, and UCLA seemed like it played harder than Michigan State and UCLA, and it certainly seemed like it wanted it more. Neither of those things are true. The Bruins lost the rebounding battle to BYU, and Michigan State was certainly scrapping and fighting, but they're playing a fearless brand of basketball with the energy to get out on the BYU outside shooters and keep them to 3 of 17 from 3. They kept coming even after the Spartans started to look like they were about to take over their first 4 game. Abilene Christian might play a nasty brand of defense, but it turns the ball over a ton, and UCLA doesn't. It commits a whole lot of fouls, isn't great on the defensive boards, and the finish of that Texas game aside, it's not good enough from the free throw line. The Abilene Christian Wildcats come into this game with a 24-4 record overall, and in the first game they pulled off the upset over the Texas Longhorns. In the game against Texas, the defense was strong, giving up 52 points, and it was 2 clutch free throws in the end that sealed the game. The Wildcats were led by Joe Pleasant and Corian Mason, who both scored 11 points. On the season, Abilene Christian is averaging 75.3 points per game, while their defense is giving up 61.3 points per game. Center Colton Call has been the best player for Abilene Christian, averaging 12 points while shooting 54.1% from the field. On the other side of this matchup is the UCLA Bruins, who have played 2 games so far in the tournament and looked good in both of them. After beating Michigan State in the first game, they defeated BYU on Saturday. The defense was strong in the last game, giving up only 62 points, and that led to the victory. UCLA on the season is averaging 73.3 points per game, while their defense is giving up 68.7 points per game. UCLA is shooting 46.3% from the field and 37.4% from behind the three-point line. Johnny Juzong has been the best player for UCLA, and coming into this game he is averaging 15 points while shooting 42.7% from the field. So here are my betting suggestions for that game. I'll back the Bruins to continue their superb play as a first 4 team. UCLA is well coached by Cronin, and the UCLA guards, led by Campbell, will be able to handle the Wildcats' pressure. Abilene Christian was fortunate to survive against Texas, and this is a letdown spot against a disciplined Bruins team. Once the Bruins get a lead, they will find opportunities for 3-point shots by Yaquez and Juzong. This line opened at UCLA -5 and has dropped to -4.5. I would wait to see if it goes to -4, but I'd be confident taking it up to UCLA -5. My first betting advice for that game is to take UCLA -4.0. In the first round matchup versus the Cougars on Saturday, UCLA had a 38-27 lead at the break and was able to cruise to an eventual 73-62 result in the win. Tops in scoring for the Bruins was Johnny Juzong with 27 points and 5 rebounds. Jules Bernard added 16 points and 5 boards as well. Over on the Abilene Christian side, they've put together a nice run this season and haven't lost consecutive games. The Wildcats have been on a 5-0 tier over their last quintet, taking out Stephen F. Austin, Incarnate Word, Lamar Nichols, and then Texas on Saturday. In Saturday's first round matchup versus Texas, Abilene Christian had a 28-23 deficit at the break, but surged from there in a 53-52 nail-biter upset victory. Leading the way for the Wildcats was Joe Pleasant with 11 points and 7 rebounds. The over is 11-3 in Abilene Christian's last 14 games overall. Abilene Christian is 18-6 against the spread in their last 24 games overall. UCLA is 5-11 against the spread in their last 16 games overall. I expect the pace will be slow in this game, and that is going to lead to points being hard to come by. Both teams could finish under 60, and that is going to lead to this game going under the total. Back the under to cash. In terms of the side, it's a lean to UCLA, but the stronger play is with the under. My second betting advice for that game is to pick 133.5. Good luck to all of you. That's it for this video. Stay tuned and stay safe for the next betting tips and advice.